The metal deck shook under his boots. Red light washed over the bridge. A low groan echoed through the ship. Leo Vance held onto his command chair. The orbital fortress Righteous Fury was dying. Outside the main viewport, the enemy fleet filled the stars. Their ships were long and sharp like knives. They moved without a sound. They fired bright beams of light. Each hit made the fortress tremble. "Report," Leo said. His voice was rough. Maya Cruz answered from her station. Her face was lit by a screen. Shields are gone. Portside thrusters are offline. We have multiple hull breaches on decks 5 through 8. Leo looked at the tactical screen. Green dots, his ships, were vanishing one by one. The enemy's white dots closed in. They were a swarm. They were endless. The last defense platform just went dark, a young officer said. His name was Ben. His hands shook. Earth was gone. Mars was silent. The Righteous Fury was the last thing standing. The last piece of the human race. An alarm screamed. A new sound. Sharper. Incoming boarding torpedoes, Maya said. Many of them, the point defense cannons spun. They fired bright lines of fire into the dark. They hit some torpedoes. Explosions flashed like tiny suns. But one got through. It was a metal spike. It slammed into the starboard hangar bay. The internal security feed showed the hangar. It was chaos, smoke and fire. Men and women in gray uniforms fired their rifles. Then white figures appeared through the smoke. Imperial Marines. Their armor was clean and white. Their helmets had no faces. They moved together. They fired with perfect rhythm. The human soldiers fell. The feed turned to static. "They are inside," Ben whispered. Another voice came over the comm. It was from engineering. "Commander, the main reactor is critical. The core cannot take much more. We have minutes. Maybe less." Leo closed his eyes for a second. Then he opened them. "All hands, prepare to repel boarders. Fight to the last breath." Maya came to his side. She spoke quietly. "Leo, it is time. The final protocol." He looked at her. The final protocol. Plan so terrible it had no real name. Just a code. A last act of hate. "I cannot," he said. "It is not a victory.
Yes.
It is just ... death." "What choice do we have?" she asked. Her eyes were hard. "Let them erase us. Let them forget we were ever here." The ship shook again. A blast door on the far side of the bridge hissed, began to glow red. They were cutting through. Leo looked at the faces on his bridge. They were scared. They were young. They looked to him for a way out. There was none. He was about to speak, was about to give the order. A new sound cut through the noise. A beep from the comm station. Ben looked down, confused. "Sir, ... We are receiving a signal. It is not Imperial. The jamming ... It is gone for a second." "From where?" Leo asked. Ben worked his console. Sources identified. Tartarus Station. Leo felt a cold shock. Tartarus Station. A deep space research outpost. It was declared lost. Wiped out years ago. "What is the signal?" Maya asked. Ben listened. His face was pale. "It is one word. It is repeating." He put it on the main speaker. A clear, automated voice filled the bridge. "Prometheus. Prometheus. Prometheus." The word hung in the air. Prometheus. "Tartarus Station is gone," Maya said. "We lost contact 2 years ago." Leo moved to the comm station. "Ben, trace that signal. Is it a loop? Is it live? Is it data burst, Commander?" "A massive one. It is repeating the word as a beacon, but the main data packet is huge." Ben's fingers flew across the screen. "It is encrypted with old wartime codes. I can break it." Another explosion rocked the ship. The main lights flickered and died. The red emergency lights were the only thing left. The grinding sound at the blast door was louder. The metal was bending. "Hurry," Leo said. The data stream opened on the main screen. Schematics flashed by. Complex weapon designs. Then a single file appeared, labeled with a simple name. Project Prometheus. "It is a weapon," Maya whispered, reading the summary. "Not for ships. It's not for planets." Leo scanned the text. His blood went cold. Project Prometheus was not a bomb. It was a resonant code, a weapon of the mind. It targeted the Imperial network, the quantum web that connected their entire civilization. Their history, their communications, their culture. It would not kill a single person. It would erase their memory. It would unmake their society. The lead scientist, Ben said, his voice quiet. Eli Vance? Leo felt the air leave his lungs. He grabbed the console to steady himself. Your brother? Maya asked. She knew the name. Everyone knew Eli Vance was a genius. Everyone also knew he was declared dead. Leo nodded, could not speak. He and Eli had fought bitterly. Leo called him a monster for his ideas. Eli called Leo a fool for his honor. They had not spoken in years. There is more, Ben said. A personal log, attached to the main file. It is from him. Play it, Leo said. A man's face filled the screen. It was Eli. He looked older. His eyes were tired. He sat in a small, clean room. If you are hearing this, then Tartarus has fallen, or it is about to fall. They are coming for us. They know what we built. Eli's voice was calm, but his words were fast. Prometheus is not a weapon of destruction. It is a weapon of silence. It will take their voice, will take their past, it will leave them alone in the dark. He leaned closer to the recorder. But listen, they knew we were here. They knew about the project. Someone told them. Someone high up. A traitor. I do not know who. But they have been feeding our secrets to the Empire for a long time. That is how Earth fell. The sound of metal tearing came from the bridge door. A white armored fist punched through the glowing red steel. We have to go, Maya said. Ow. The data shows a ship, Ben said, pulling up a schematic of the Righteous Fury. A high-speed courier, the Stiletto. It is docked in Bay 7. It is designed for this. A one-way trip to Tartarus. Leo made the decision. Maya, you have the bridge. Get as many people to the escape pods as you can. I'll take the Stiletto. No, Maya said. She looked at the failing blast door. Then she looked at Leo. You are the commander. You have to see this through. I will hold them here. She drew her sidearm, shoved Leo toward a small hatch in the rear wall. It was an escape corridor. Go, Leo. For all of us. He turned and ran into the dark corridor. The hatch sealed behind him with a heavy thud. He heard the final sound from his bridge. It was the screech of tearing metal as the main blast door failed. It was the first sharp crack of Maya's pistol. Then, silence. The escape corridor was tight and dark. Leo ran. The sounds of battle faded behind him. He reached a small hatch. It led to a service tube. He climbed down, his hands sliding on cold metal rungs. He dropped into the quiet of Bay 7. The air was cold. In the center of the bay sat the Stiletto. It was a small, sleek ship. It looked like a needle. Its engines were already humming. The ship was waiting for him. He ran up the ramp. It closed behind him. The cockpit was small and simple. He slid into the pilot's seat. His hands moved over the controls. The screens lit up. A loud roar came from outside. The entire fortress shook. A bright white light filled the bay. The main reactor of the Righteous Fury was dying. Leo fired the Stiletto's thrusters. The ship shot forward. It ripped through the bay's magnetic field and out into space. The view was chaos. Pieces of the fortress floated everywhere. Fire and metal. Imperial ships turned toward him. They were huge. They blocked the stars. He pushed the throttle. The Stiletto leaped forward. It was fast. Very fast. He flew through the debris field. He weaved between giant pieces of broken hull. An alarm beeped. Targeting laser from an Imperial frigate had locked onto him. He saw it then. The Righteous Fury. The core went critical. The center of the fortress swelled with a silent, brilliant light. Then it exploded. Shockwave hit the Stiletto. It tossed the ship like a toy. Leo held the controls tight. The light from the explosion filled his cockpit. It was the last light of his home. It was the funeral pyre for Maya and everyone else. When the light faded, the Imperial ships near the fortress were gone. Vaporized. He used the confusion. He aimed for a jump point, a tunnel through space. The ship's computer calculated the path. The Imperial ships were moving to block him. He punched the jump drive. The stars outside stretched into long lines. The ship groaned. Then everything was quiet. He was in the gray, nothing of jump space. He was alone. Thought of Maya. He thought of his brother. He opened the data file. He found Eli's personal log. He pressed play. Eli's face appeared again. He looked more tired now. "Leo," Eli said, he was speaking directly to him. "If you are hearing this, I am probably gone. I am sorry. It's for our fight, for everything." Leo felt a tightness in his chest. "I know you think this weapon is a monster," Eli continued, "but they left us no choice. It is not about killing them. It is about making them remember. Remember that we were here, that we fought back." Eli looked over his shoulder as if he heard a noise. "A traitor, Leo. He is one of us. He is the reason they found Earth's defenses weak. He gave them the codes. He is the reason they are here. Find him, or Prometheus will be for nothing." The log ended. The ship dropped out of jump space. The stars returned. He was at the coordinates for Tartarus Station. He looked at the scanner. His heart sank. Tartarus Station was not a station anymore. It was a field of broken metal, a dead husk. It had been blasted to pieces. There was nothing left. His mission was over before it began. Then a small light blinked on his console. A single automated beacon from the wreckage activated. A message appeared on his screen. It was from Eli. The message was short. "They are here." Leo stared at the message. "They are here." A shadow fell over his ship. An Imperial interdictor cruiser decloaked directly in front of him. It was massive. It looked like a metal whale, and its hull was smooth and white. His controls lit up with warning lights. A tractor beam locked onto the stiletto. The ship shuddered. He was caught. He could not move. He could not run. He was pulled into the interdictor's main hangar. The bay was huge and bright. Armored Marines stood in perfect lines. Their rifles were aimed at his ship. The ramp of the stiletto lowered on its own. Leo stood up. He put his hands in the air. 2 Marines marched up the ramp. They grabbed him. They were not rough. They were efficient. They took his sidearm. They pushed him down the ramp. They walked him through long white corridors. The air was cold and clean. They stopped at a heavy door. It slid open. The room was a briefing room. A large table stood in the center. A man stood with his back to the door, looking at a star chart on the wall. He wore the crisp white uniform of an Imperial commander. The door closed behind Leo. The man turned around. Leo stopped breathing. It was his brother, Caleb. Caleb smiled. It was a cold smile. There was no warmth in his eyes. "Hello, Leo," Caleb said. His voice was calm. "It has been a long time." Leo could not speak. His mind raced. "Caleb, the political one, the one who stayed on Earth, the one who argued for peace." "You," Leo finally said. The word was a whisper. "Me," Caleb said. He walked to the table. "I saw the future, Leo. I saw the truth. Our fight was a child's game. They're too strong. They are too many. You betrayed us," Leo said. His voice grew stronger. "You gave them Earth." "I saved what I could," Caleb said. He leaned on the table. "I made a deal. The compliant remnant of humanity survives. We serve. We live. It was the only way. Extinction was the other choice." "You are a coward," Leo spat. "I am a realist," Caleb replied. He looked at Leo with pity. "Your ship, the data you carried. We scanned it. Project Prometheus. Eli's final madness. It does not matter now." Caleb gestured to a screen on the wall. It showed the stiletto docked in the hangar. Technicians were already connecting cables to its computer core. "You delivered it right to us," Caleb said. "The final piece? Now we have the weapon and the man who built it. There is nothing left." Leo's eyes dropped to the table. He saw a small data port. A thin cable ran from it to the stiletto in the hangar. The Prometheus virus was not on a drive. It was a code, and he had just plugged it directly into an Imperial command ship. He looked at Caleb. A strange calm settled over him. "Us." "You were wrong, Caleb," Leo said. "Eli and I. We finally agree on something." He slammed his fist down on the table. It was a hard, sharp sound. He hit a hidden sequence he had programmed into his own data core during the jump. The bright white lights in the room flickered. A low, powerful hum vibrated through the deck. The star chart on the wall glitched. The stars twisted and broke apart. The hum grew louder. It was not a sound you heard with your ears. It was a sound you felt in your bones. The lights flickered again, then died. A deep, red emergency glow filled the room. Caleb stared at Leo. His calm face broke. "What did you do?" On the wall screen, the view of the hangar dissolved into static. Alarms began to wail in the distance. Were not battle alarms. They were sounds of confusion, of panic. Leo did not answer. He moved. He shoved the table hard. It slammed into Caleb, knocking him to the floor. Leo ran for the door. It was sealed shut. He turned. His only goal was the ship's main comm station. It would be on the bridge. Caleb got to his feet. He drew a small pistol from his belt. His face was twisted with anger. "You have killed us all," Leo said, still moving along the wall, looking for a console. "We were already dead." "This is just our message," Caleb fired. The shot sizzled past Leo's head. Leo ducked behind a large support pillar. He saw a terminal built into the wall. It was a secondary comms unit. He tapped the screen. It was glitching. Imperial symbols and text scrambled and broke apart. He typed in the command sequence Eli had buried in the data. The final command. Caleb fired again. The blast hit the pillar, spraying hot fragments. "Cannot win," Caleb yelled. A view screen on the terminal flickered to life. It showed a feed from the Imperial network. It was chaos. It's on 100 different worlds and 1,000 different ships. Their systems were failing. Their historical archives were deleting themselves. Their communications were a mess of screaming voices and static. Their shared identity was unraveling. Leo looked at his brother. This was never about winning. It was about proving we were never yours to conquer. He punched the final key. On the terminal, a single prompt appeared. Transmit. Leo pressed it. He stood up from behind the pillar. He faced Caleb. He had no weapon. He had nothing left to say. Caleb aimed his pistol. His hand was shaking. The ship shuddered violently. The deep hum reached a painful peak. Leo's voice echoed from every speaker on the ship, on every world in the Empire. It was calm, it was clear, it was final. Run for your souls. For a moment there was silence. The alarms stopped. The hum faded. Then a new sound started. It was not from the machines. It was from the crew. It was a sound of pure terror. It's a sound of a civilization forgetting what it was. Caleb lowered his pistol. His eyes were wide with a fear deeper than death. He was not looking at an enemy. He was looking at the end of his world. Leo Vance stood alone in the red light. He watched his brother break. He listened to the Empire fall. Outside the ship, in the cold silence of space, the stars looked on, unchanged.